Day. That's my prayer for this message. I don't know if you read this story in the Toronto Star this week on November 1st. I've been trying to show some unlikely hero type stories that are in our everyday news, that we don't always see them. Wal Waba says he was just trying to help when he determinedly tracked down the owner of a stolen jacket. David Cohen, the jacket's owner, says he was just as determined to give Waba a reward, but that effort was less successful. David Cohen noticed one morning this past week as he got into his car, the contents of his glove box scattered all over the floor of his car. It's a scary thought when you think about that. His car had been broken into the night before. He also noticed that his new winter coat he accidentally left in the back seat was gone as well. Inside the pocket of his coat was his wallet with his ID and his credit cards and money. During the day, Wal Waba encountered a man who wanted to sell him a winter jacket for $10 at the restaurant where he works. The man told Wal that he was homeless and someone had given him the coat. Wal took the man up on the deal and bought the new coat for $10. As he looked through the coat, though, he noticed a wallet in it, and that the coat actually belonged to David Cohen. Wal sent out to return the coat to its original owner. David Cohen had, in the meantime, given up hope that he would ever see his coat again, and he had already made the calls that we all would make, canceling his credit cards. But hope came later that day when Cohen got a voicemail from the concierge at the condominium where he used to live. He hadn't updated his address on his driver's license, he said, saying there was someone at the front counter looking to return his wallet and jacket. Cohen had missed the phone call, and Waba had left the condo by the time he got the voicemail. But Waba wasn't going to give up that easy himself either. He managed to track down Cohen on Facebook. See, there's some good purpose for social media. And let him know in a message that he had the jacket and wallet at the restaurant where he worked, about a block away from Cohen's house. David Cohen's wife went to the restaurant to meet Waba. She reimbursed Waba the $10 it cost him for the jacket, but was shocked when he refused a reward for returning the jacket. This is what any good person would do. It didn't cross my mind to do anything else, Cohen remembers Waba saying. I'm sure if you were in the same situation, David, you would do the same, Waba told him. I told him, if you find another person who is poor or needs the money, you can give it to them. He wouldn't even accept the Tim's gift card that was left on the restaurant table when he walked out of the restaurant. He's like, no, you take that gift card, just pay it forward, Cohen said. He says, I'm a Muslim, and in my religion, this is something called haram. It's not legal, he said. Sometimes we can be surprised by the kindness from someone, a complete stranger, and the least likely person we would expect to help us. I was thinking of the story of Waba being a complete stranger when he was giving that coat and wallet back. Such was the unexpected faith shown to Jesus from the least likely person, a Roman centurion. The centurions, of course, in the Romans were occupiers that had shown their power in conquering the historic homeland of Jewish Palestine. Jews would typically view anything done by the Romans as kind of suspicious or tainted deeds, a powerful people wanting to continue to oppress the whole country at that time. The Roman centurion responds the opposite way many Jewish people would have expected him to respond to Jesus. In fact, the way the Roman centurion responded in belief in Jesus, to speak the word and his servant would be healed, what did it do to Jesus? It amazed him. This was a man who didn't grow up in the church, having years of training of who God is and how God works in our world. For Jesus, the Roman centurion is faith coming from a very unexpected place. Luke, the author of this passage, helps the reader understand some of the cultural significance of this passage and the spiritual significance of the extent of Jesus' ministry. During the time of Jesus, this is important, many public projects were done by what was called benefactors or patrons. Now, benefactors or patrons were very common in the time of Jesus, as they were common in the Roman Empire. Most of a person's daily shopping needs were done in the marketplace. But if you needed something done for you and needed to purchase something that wasn't in the marketplace, you would need a patron or a benefactor on your side. We have the phrase in English that states, it's not what you know, but who you know. Well, that was very much a phrase for that time. It speaks of the connections needed in society to get what you need or want. One biblical teacher explains the system of exchange by benefactors in the following. This relationship would be marked by the mutual exchange of desired goods and services, the patron or the benefactor being available for assistance in the future, and the client doing everything in his or her power to enhance the fame and honor of the patron, publicizing the benefit and showing the patron respect, remaining loyal to the patron, and providing services whenever the opportunity arose. The ancient world, of course, was a world without the internet and had very limited access to goods. So the greater part of the property, wealth, and power was concentrated in the hands of very few. Benefactors were the ones then who built the theaters, the roads, aqueducts, and the temples, or synagogues in this case, in addition to providing food and protection against enemies. So when the Jewish elders come to Jesus and ask for him to help for a Roman centurion's servant, I believe Luke is letting the reader understand that this centurion was a benefactor or a patron to the Jewish people. The centurion was known by the Jewish elders as the man who had built their synagogue. So the elders believed the centurion deserves for Jesus to heal his servant. Now, why would the Jewish elders believe the Roman centurion deserves Jesus to heal his servant? Because the Jewish elders believed they needed to appease the Roman centurion as their benefactor, or they wouldn't have the blessing they needed in their village. It's kind of like the sense when all the farmers help each other out with their crops and their equipment.